Ever finish a book and just need to talk about it? Welcome to Book Labs, the show that takes a deep dive into your favorite books, usually in 10 minutes or less. Whether it's a literary masterpiece, a guilty pleasure, or a hidden gem, we break it down, explore what makes it great, and maybe even change how you see it. So grab that first cup of coffee and let's get into it. Welcome to Book Labs.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into Oliver Burkeman's 4,000 Weeks, Time Rethought. This was spurred by interest in, different takes on productivity, stuff that doesn't just overwhelm you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Burkeman's book is great for that.
So our mission really is to pull out the key ideas from Burkeman that might help us all, rethink our relationship with time and productivity itself.
Right. He really challenges that constant pressure, the feeling that you always need to be doing more, optimizing every single second.
Okay, so let's start with that idea of the 24-hour workday myth. Burkeman basically says going full throttle all the time just ignores that we need rest, we need downtime.
Exactly. It's this sort of relentless pursuit that forgets we're human. It's like trying to pour an ocean into a coffee cup. It just doesn't work.
And that directly causes burnout, right? It actually makes us less effective in the long run. You were interested in balance, and this really hits that nail on the head.
It really does. And what's key, I think, is that accepting limitations like, okay, a day only has so many hours I can't be on constantly, that actually helps.
Helps how? By setting more realistic goals.
Yeah, realistic expectations. Rest isn't like a reward you earn. It's essential. It's part of the process for actually getting things done well and, staying sane.
Which ties right into his next big idea.
Yeah.
Time as a finite resource. Genuinely limited. Not this bottomless pit we can keep drawing from.
And he emphasizes that really getting that, internalizing it, can totally shift your focus.
So instead of just trying to cram more tasks in, you start thinking differently.
Precisely. You become more intentional. Where does this limited energy, this limited time actually need to go? What matters? It's a big mental shift.
Yeah, I can see that. Understanding it's finite forces you to actually confront your priorities, doesn't it?
Totally. What's really valuable, how do I want to spend this, this resource I have? It isn't about finding hacks to make more time appear.
It's about peace. Peace with the time you actually have.
Yes, and using it in line with what you value. It's quite profound, actually.
Okay, now here's something that sounds odd. The value of distractions. Burkeman suggests things like, checking social media or email aren't just bad.
Right. It sounds counterintuitive. We're always told to block them out completely.
But he's saying maybe strategic breaks, even involving these things, could actually help focus. How does that work?
Well, think about it. Can anyone really maintain super intense focus for hours on end without a break? Probably not. Our attention spans aren't infinite either.
So maybe these moments, they're like a mental reset.
Could be. A chance to step back, let the brain breathe for a second, and then return maybe sharper. It's not about letting them run wild, but managing them thoughtfully, not just eliminating them.
Interesting. And speaking of valuable things we often push aside, he really stresses learning and reflection, making time for them daily.
Yeah, and these aren't just nice to haves. He sees them as fundamental for growth, for creativity, ultimately for feeling fulfilled.
Which makes sense, especially if you're looking for those aha moments, that deeper understanding, not just ticking boxes.
Exactly. But they're often the first things to go when we feel pressured to just do, right, to produce something tangible.
Definitely. Easy to sideline.
But if you think long-term, reflection is where you synthesize things, connect dots, generate new ideas. It's not away from productive life. It's actually central to it.
Okay, one last major theme. Embracing uncertainty. Accepting ambiguity.
In a world that feels like it demands constant planning and control, he suggests that letting go of that need is crucial.
Crucial for what? Adaptability.
Yeah, adaptability, personal growth, recognizing you can't plan everything perfectly, you can't optimize away all the unknowns, and that's okay. It's part of life.
It makes you wonder how much energy we waste trying to control stuff that's just uncontrollable.
A lot, probably. And accepting uncertainty might actually, paradoxically, make us more resilient when things inevitably go sideways, frees up mental space.
So wrapping this up, reflecting on 4,000 weeks, it seems like rethinking time, seeing its limits, maybe even using distractions wisely, It all points towards a different kind of productivity, one that feels more fulfilling.
I think so. Less about frantic doing, more about intentional being.
So here's something to think about. If you really consciously acknowledge that your time is finite, how might that change the choices you make? Maybe even just today or this week.
That's a powerful question.
Yeah. This idea of embracing the uncertainty, making space for reflection, instead of just chasing that impossible goal of perfect constant productivity, that feels like a really important takeaway from Burkeman.
And that's a wrap on this week's Deep Dive. Got a book you love and want us to explore? Let us know. Your book could be next. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like if you enjoy the show, and share with your fellow book lovers. Until next time, keep reading, keep thinking, and we'll see you in the next chapter.